locked in. But I guess kind of switching gears then, along the lines of the health and wellness and what we have here and stuff, I think one of the coolest things is what you overcame. And I'll let you kind of tell that story because it's pretty insane from just the bits and pieces I was told. But, you know, that's pretty wild. I think it's pretty inspirational too. But kind of walk us through how all that happened.
Well, I just got picked up to go on tour with this other band, and I was going to be co-headlining because they enjoyed my veteran following and different things, and they wanted to bring that into the mix. So I went to go meet this band on Friday night, 4.5 years ago now, and you know, the band that I was going to be on tour with. So I went there, and I was wearing heels, and I thought I twisted my ankle or something because my ankle started to hurt. And actually what's really funny is I didn't even really remember this part. I actually found it later in text message form with my guitarist. Went over, I was like, hey, can I use a heating pad because I twisted my ankle or something, and you know, it's hurting, and I didn't know what to do or what I did. But it was a little bit swollen, so I wasn't thinking anything other than just I twisted it or there was an injury. So it was hurting that night. Totally forgot about that. So then I had to go do a meeting in Houston and to go meet with the venue I was doing a show with. And I'm like in this meeting, and I feel like there's ants biting me in the back of, like fire ants biting me in the back of my knee. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. I've got to go. And my babysitter at the time was like, it can't be an overnight thing. Like, you have to come home. I'm like, okay, cool. So if it wasn't for that, I probably would have been on the side of the road and calling 911 because it was bad. My left leg kind of went dead by the time I got home. I like slithered into my apartment at the time. And I just, the house I bought, I had just made into an Airbnb and got an apartment to make some money. And yeah, that's when I got paralyzed. So I go to the hospital after getting home, and you know, and it was Mother's Day Eve. Oh. It was Mother's Day, like the day before Mother's Day. So everyone and their mother is in the ER. St. David's. I was like, oh my God, I'm never going to get seen.
Do you know why that is?
Yes, I have a theory.
I'm curious.
Well, you can
tell me.
A lot of mothers and mother-in-laws and different people, grandmothers, on Mother's Day want attention from their kin. And some of them are hypochondriacs, which is why there's not a lot of people going to hospitals anymore because the hypochondriacs stopped too. So it's a little bit different when it comes to that. Like there's a lot of attention that happens on Mother's Day. And if they don't get to see their kids or something, maybe they wanted to. That's my theory. And I was also told that by a nurse when I was there. She was like, I was like, why is there everybody here? She's like, well, that's what they do.
That's a good theory. That makes sense. I remember that. I don't even want to go off topic, but I was going to say, I remember that one commercial where the guy like the grandpa fakes his death. All his kids show up, and then he like walks in, and they're all like, what? I thought you were God. And he's like, it's what it took to get you.
Oh God, I've never seen that.
It's kind of messed up.
When you said commercial, all I thought about was we had a baby, it's a boy. Oh. It was a collect call, 1-800-COLLECT thing. It was a commercial for that years ago. I don't know why that just popped in my head.
I don't know why I just thought of that commercial. So
there we go. We're on the same weird wavelength.
Yeah, right.
Squirrel, like, butterfly. Squirrel, yeah. Oh my.
So you're in the hospital.
Okay, so mind you, before I got there, I don't like to go to hospitals at all. So I called one of my doctor friends, and she's like, what are you doing? Go to the freaking hospital, you dumbass. But then I also called the hospital, and I'm like, I'm not going to go there if you're going to give me a Valium and send me on my way and pat me on the butt, saying you're tired, because I was. But so they said, this is a medical emergency, so we can pick you up if you can't make it here. I'm like, oh, crap. Okay, well, I have to go. So I went, and by the time, like I said, wall-to-wall people, everybody lined up. Nobody has a bed even. They're, like, even in the hallways. When I got there, I was seen within 6 minutes, and I had my own room. Oh. And that was, in itself, very scary to begin with.
What's that message?
Right?
Yeah.
I was like, what do they think I'm here for? Like, this is terrifying. So at this point, my body is on fire. Feels like lava is being poured on me because all my nerve endings are dying. So I'm like, do not touch me. They put me in a bed, and that was agonizing enough. And then this one nurse came in and was like, okay, I'm going to take you to the bathroom. I'm like, you're not going to do anything because I cannot move. Like, I am in too much pain. This was way too big of a process to get out of this bed. Are you serious? So they gave me a bedpan, and I couldn't go to the bathroom. And that's when I knew something was really wrong. What I really thought was I have herniated discs in my lower back, my L1 and L2. And I was like, they severed. I'm done. Like I'm dead. Like I'm paralyzed. I can't do anything. So after I was like, I can't go to the bathroom. Something's wrong. Telling the nurses everything. Then they bring in a machine. Kind of looks like this on one side of it. And they turn it around, and it's this big computer screen, and it's a dude on it. And he's like, we think we know what's wrong with you. We're calling back our MRI and our CT teams. And I'm like, Happy Mother's Day. Sorry. So they did that, and then I woke up to, I'm not going to tell the embarrassing part of that story. I always do because it's like the first thing in my brain. Maybe I'll tell you later.
Yeah.
So I had a lumbar puncture too, so I woke up in a strange environment there. Then I wake up, and I'm hooked up to this IV with IVIG. Don't ask me what it stands for. Forgot. Interglobulin something. Either way, super allergic to it, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
So it's supposed to clean out your old antibodies that are trying to kill you and give you new ones that aren't trying to kill you. But I became highly allergic to it within a day and a half, and it didn't work very well. But so I was woken up, and they told me that I had Guillain-Barré, and people call it Guillain-Barré. That's what they know it as most of the time. But it's my peripheral nerves were, the myelin sheath was eaten off of them by my central nervous system. I used to say that a little bit better, but I'm not as fluent as I used to be on this story. I don't talk about it that much.
It's been a minute,
yeah. So, I was paralyzed from my neck down within 6 hours. And
like zero movement. And feel nothing?
No. And after the IVIG hit my system, I was able to I was on life support for a while, but about 6 days later, I was about down to like my third or fourth rib to where I could feel, so I could talk again. I could breathe again on my own. I had to relearn how to use my diaphragm for singing and all of that. But what's really funny is I used to have trigger finger and 2 fingers. And so I would go to play guitar, and I've had a guitar since I was like 12, so I wanted to, but my 2 fingers would always lock out within like 30 seconds, and it was so painful. And I just thought I could never play guitar ever. And when I got my hand back, it was one of the first things that came back. It's never happened since. It's kind of strange. So I do, yeah, but you still need time and years. Yeah. So I'm not good yet, but it's still a possibility now. So that's cool. Wow.